Hey friends, welcome to my channel. Let's get crafting. These are the projects we're going to be making today, and we need 2 frames, some rope, and then we're going to be using some different paint, white and blue. This fabric, I had pulled it, but I ended up not using it in the end, and you'll see what I'm going to be doing. And then 2 pictures to put inside your frames. So we are going to be taking the rope, and the trick with this is that you want to first put the rope on and then kind of curl it out towards the inside of the frame. So you're going along that inner part of the frame versus having that gold showing where you can see that it is a frame that's not just wrapped all in a rope. I felt like that made it really look polished and finished. And then when you go around the corners, play with the rope, bend it and manipulate it before you glue it down, so that way it really does take that curve nicely versus you're struggling with it and it doesn't look like it's sitting in there nicely. And then when you get to the sides on the ends, I untwisted my rope just a little bit on those spots so that way it spread out the rope some to cover it up even better. And then I went back with the twist again and brought it around that curve. So you're going to see me do it right here. I stretched it out and then I'm going to keep it twisted again and come around that side. This really does finish the look and make it look really polished and high end. So at the point when you're in the end spot, you're just going to take it and bring it around the back, flatten it out a little bit, and then here it is nice and covered with all the rope. Now we could leave it like this and put our 2 frames together, or we can make it look something really special and custom, which is what we're going to be doing next. So on the inside, I really wanted to make sure that you can only see the rope, so I decided to add just a little bit of that white like you saw. And now I'm going to lay the frames right next to each other so that the rope is taped off at the exact same spots on both of the frames. And then I'm going to take some white paint and I'm going to massage that into the rope, making sure that I get all of those crevices and all of those teeny tiny little nooks and crannies that can be a little tricky to paint when it comes to rope. So just make sure you just keep tapping it in and keep adding in paint as you go. Now I really think this is so pretty. This really does remind me of being down at the beach. Sometimes they do paint rope down on those piers and it just looks so pretty when you see the rope painted in some spots and then you have the regular natural rope. I really love how this looks. So once we're done with all the white, we're going to actually add on another color. And the cool thing about this, you can add on whatever color you would like. Since I'm going very nautical for this DIY, we're going to be adding on a really pretty American blue. Now I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to position my tape, making sure they're at the exact same spots so that they all look nice and even. And then I'm just going to cut it and wrap them around because I want to make 2 blue stripes on each of the frames going down, which will really make it look high end, something that you would pick up at maybe Pottery Barn around the summertime. So here I am, I'm just wrapping it around nice and tight, and then make sure you tap it down into all those little crevices of the rope because you don't want it to bleed on accident. It could really mess up the project. So here I am, I'm at the very end, and now I can add in a really pretty blue. Again, you can do whatever color you want, but I love this blue color right now. I've just been really digging on it, and so I've been using it a lot in my DIYs. So again, we're going to press down the tape and then just keep tapping it into the spots. And then once you've got both of those frames done, you can go ahead and take off the tape and it's going to reveal the coolest look to these frames. Now, you could just always put the backers on them and stand them up somewhere on a shelf or a bookcase, wherever you want to put them. But I decided I wanted to have them hanging with each other. I thought this would be really pretty to hang up in a home somewhere. So I'm taking off the tape at this point, and then I'm going to make sure that, again, these frames are going to be perfectly aligned. I think that is the trick with this. So on the back side, when I put the frame back together, I cut off the support leg because we're not going to need that, and then I just glued it down so that way when it's up against a wall hanging up, it's not going to have this thing that can keep flapping and moving around. And then I'm not going to change out these pictures ever because I really want this to be a memory that we preserve for our family when we went to the beach. And I am just putting those in with a little bit of hot glue, and I'm just simply securing them. And now I can flip it over. I added a top hanging rope so that way I can hang it up somewhere in my home. And then I'm gonna take 2 more pieces, and you can see that I'm flattening them out so this lays really nice and flat against the wall. And I'm gluing them all down. And then make sure again that the frames are perfectly aligned so that way it's not hanging crooked, because that could be such a bummer. You went through all that work and then it's crooked. So here I am, I'm just adding in the last little bit of the rope to complete the look, and then you are ready to hang it up somewhere in your home. Today, for my summer DIY daily series, I am featuring a channel that is only 4 months old, and I have had a chance to talk with Nathalie on the phone a couple times, and she is just so fun. I could talk to her all day long. We could be on the phone forever if I'm not careful, because she is just so spirited and full of life. Her projects are so beautiful, and she's very creative with the things that she makes. A lot of things I haven't seen people making before, which is really fun and fresh. I've seen her projects today. Go check her out. She's got beautiful things. She's linked down below. And if you're new coming over from Nathalie's channel, welcome. My name is Heidi Sonboul, and this is my DIY channel, and I'm posting daily throughout the months of June and July. If you haven't yet, please give this video a thumbs up. It means the world to me. And if you are enjoying what you're seeing here on my channel and you like this DIY series I'm doing for the summer, click that subscribe button, because there will be a new video every day, Monday through Friday. Our supplies for this DIY are going to be 3 of these 8x10 canvases, some rope, and then a hard sign that you can pick up from the Dollar Tree. In fact, all of these are coming from the Dollar Tree, as well as some thicker tongue depressor popsicle sticks. We're going to be using all of these supplies to create a beautiful, bright, and coastal looking crate. Now you can paint these whatever color you want, but I just thought this coral color, when you see the finished look, is going to be so pretty for the summertime to use, and you could even take it over into the fall time as well, and technically in the springtime too. So you can see there that I removed the canvas fabric. I always like to keep the canvas fabric, but I pull off the sides just because those are bent and stapled. So I always just put that to the side to keep it, and then the scraps I throw them away. And now I'm going to take that frame, the wood frame, and I'm going to make my mark line, and I'm going to use my craft knife to score this board, and it'll snap really easy. I scored it 3 times, and then once you've got it snapped, you're going to want to cut off any extra hangover that you can see here that I'm needing to cut off. And sometimes you have to turn the board over a little bit to make sure you get it all. I just keep rotating it until I get every part where it's nice and smooth. Now we're going to take our hot glue, and we are going to glue that board down onto the frame, or the frame onto the board. And now we're going to take those tongue depressor sticks. So here I am, I'm going to match 2 up together to start, and I'm just going to cut off the tops of the rounded part of them. We don't want those parts. We want them to be nice and flat. And then once I've got that, those are going to be our supports to build up our crate. But we're going to just go ahead and just take more sticks, and we're going to keep cutting them all down, because we are going to need 16 of these. The 16 are going to allow us to be able to double them up so that the support is really strong. You could get away with doing 8, but I highly recommend, if you're building a crate, you want it to last long term. So go ahead and cut 16 of these, because then what we're going to do next is we are going to be gluing 2 together so that they're really strong and sturdy. This is going to allow the crate, like I said, over time to not have any issues with anything being in it and not being able to support it. We want it to be able to be strong enough. Now, real quick, I wanted to point out that I'm doing a giveaway all throughout the month of June. I am giving away a CRICUT tool. I will link the video at the end, and I will link it down below in the description box, but go and enter it. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed here to my channel. Now we're going to take those sticks that we have created, where we're doubling them up, and we're going to glue them into the corner, and then we're going to use our staple gun. I use this thing all the time. I'll link it down below in my description box if you want to see the one that I'm using. And then, so you can see here, I'm putting them in the corners. I'm going on one side and the other side so that every corner is covered with these sticks that we have doubled up. And I'm just using 2 staples on each and every single one. And now at this point, once you've got your frame, you're going to see that these are nice and snug and secure and really strong. I'm going to start sliding on my extra 2 frames. I'm going to take one to the middle point and one up at the top. Make sure you add your hot glue in there to really make sure you're securing it, and then also add in those staples. Now at this point, we're going to create a pretty coral color. I didn't have a coral on me, and it's really easy to make coral. You just take some white, some orange, and a pink, and then add back in some more white if you feel like it's still going to be too dark, and then just simply mix it all together, and it makes the prettiest color. So again, orange, pink, and white, and you just mix, mix, mix until you get it to the look and desire that you want. Now I wanted it to be a really bright coral color. I thought this was going to be so pretty somewhere in my home. So in fact, while I was mixing this color, my daughter Miriam kept saying, "So are you making that for me? Are you making that for my room? Can I put my toys in it?" So I have a feeling she might hijack this if I try to decorate with it. It might end up in her room because she loved the color so much. But I'm just going to give it 2 nice coats of this color, making sure it's nice and polished and finished. And then on the bottom, I painted it white because I wanted to have a nice finished look at the bottom. So here I am, I'm just taking some of this ticking stripe that's blue and tan, and I'm just going to add that around to make sure that any staples where I stapled the frame to the base, that doesn't scratch a table. It'll have a nice finished look at that point. Now I'm going to take some of the rope from the Dollar Tree. I'm just wrapping it around, and then to create a really nice nautical finished handle, I'm taking another piece of twine and I'm wrapping it around. You can see here that I start with a little bit of hot glue and then I just wrap, wrap, wrap. Like I'm wrapping, that was funny. And then I'm just going to glue it off and finish that look, and you're ready to display it somewhere in your home. Leave a comment down below to let me know which craft you liked today, or if you like them both. Don't forget to visit Nathalie's channel and to enter into the giveaway that I'm hosting here on my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by, and until the next episode, bye friends!